Very sad update and a very sad morning this December 30th, 2014. It appears they have found debris from the wreckage of Air Asia Flight QZ8501. Now, this video here says that they have spotted 6 bodies confirmed, but what's coming out with mainstream media news now that up to 40 bodies have been uncovered. Now, some are questioning because other mainstream media news outlets are showing images of a body floating in the water that appears to have no clothing on, just the underwear. And I've been watching other YouTube videos and people are questioning that, and I want to assure everyone that this is consistent with this type of a plane crash. That the high force winds would literally rip the clothing off. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's go to the video.
Six bodies have been spotted off the coast of Borneo in the search for the missing Air Asia flight. Items resembling an emergency slide, a plane door and other objects have been spotted in the Java Sea. An Indonesian search and rescue official has confirmed that debris is from missing Air Asia flight QZ8501 that went missing on Sunday with 162 people on board, including one British national, after it lost contact with air traffic control on its way from Indonesia to Singapore. What happened to the flight, which had sought permission from Indonesian air traffic control to ascend to avoid clouds, is still a mystery. But one suggestion among pilots is that the aircraft was climbing at a speed of 353 knots, about 100 knots too slow in poor weather, and that it might have stalled. Around 30 ships and 15 aircraft are reported to be involved in the search operation for the plane. Families of passengers on the Air Asia flight broke down after the news of the debris sighting.
All right, very, very sad news, and our prayers go out to the families of the victims of Air Asia flight QZ8501, and our prayers for those who lost their lives as well. Now, as far as the bodies not having clothing on, let's go back to the Malaysia airliner that was shot down over the Ukraine, and I just want to clarify this very quickly. Now, this is from Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. This is back July of this year, and the question arose at that time as well. Why were some Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 victims found without their clothes? And hopefully we can put this to rest here. People who have chosen to look at, or unfortunately stumble across, the very graphic photos of the wreckage of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 may have found themselves focusing on one particularly upsetting detail. Many of the passengers' bodies were missing their clothing, just as with Air Asia. For those who haven't seen the images, in her initial report from the crash site, a large Ukrainian wheat field dotted with purple flowers and Queen Anne's lace, the New York Times' Sabrina Charvanis took a grim inventory of the victims, noting that they included a woman naked except for a black bra, a man lying still in his socks but without pants, and a boy in blue shorts wearing red Nike sneakers but no pants, who lay with his arms and legs sprawled outward, an iPhone by his side. Daily Intelligencer asked aviation safety expert Alan Delisle to explain. If the clothes are missing, usually that means that the passenger was probably either ejected from the plane or exposed to extreme wind blasts going hundreds of miles an hour falling out of the sky, said Delisle, who has worked as an investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board, the Federal Aviation Administration in the United States Air Force. The effect of very high-speed wind or the slipstream hitting the bodies can easily, literally, rip the clothing right off. And it goes on to explain that the passengers of this aircraft, Malaysia Airlines Flight 17, that was shot down over the Ukraine, the same as with what's taking place with Air Asia, but they more than likely were unconscious before any of this had taken place. Again, our prayers to the families of the victims of Air Asia. God bless everyone. Leave me comments.